Oh, you have to keep trying. Oh, you have to keep applying. If you don't try, then how would you get it? Shut up. Shut up. Because when you're going through rejections, trust me, the last thing you need is someone telling you to apply some more. Hello there. Welcome back to our channel. Yes, so it's our channel because the last video the amount of views in 1 week is amazing. We have over 19,000 views in a week. So clearly I did not do that alone. You're welcome back to our channel. So what I want to say now is not do a natural check. Look for a chair and sit down, because the things I want to talk about are the rejections I received in the UK, things that made me doubt my self-worth as a human being. I was like, what am I worth as a human? I started feeling like, oh my God, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. So I'm going to tell you all the major rejections I received, which is like sequel to the other video I posted, so you have more understanding of why I just had to leave the UK. It was a whole lot of slap, left, right, front, center. I was just receiving a lot of L, like we would say. I collected a lot of L in the UK from a whole lot of applications. So now, sit down, okay? And let's get started. Okay, so this video was not supposed to be recorded and posted today. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you should follow me, because I posted the whole struggle. Like, NEPA did not want to give us light. There had been no light for over 34 hours. All my gadgets was down, and I felt like I won't be able to record and upload this video. But here I am, the God of Chidera. He works wonders. And yes, before I even get started, another thing I want to say, when you see that I put in efforts, when I put lipstick, I comb my hair, I rub foundation, encourage me, because I'm not always the one to do things like this. Encourage me, drop it in the comments. Say, Chidera, well done. Chidera, you try, you look good. Put it in the comment though, so that next video I'll be encouraged to rub foundation and rub small lipstick. You want to go? Okay, I'm so sorry, I just keep rambling. Okay, so let's talk about the rejections I received in the UK. The very first one is the Global Talent Visa. I have mentioned this before on some of my videos, but I don't think I gave details. So Global Talent Visa is a visa where they will say, oh, you're an exceptional talent, like, oh, you have talents that will be relevant to the UK. So they have different fields for it, and then you would need to have a body endorse you. A body endorsing you means they're like, yes, this girl has this skill. I feel like you people should give her this visa, give her a visa to stay back in the UK so we don't lose out on her talent, okay? To apply for this visa, I was using my community of international students, known as the CP community, as one of the points of my application, focusing on the fact that we're leveraging on technology. It's a completely online community, you know, all of that. So the endorsing body I applied under is known as Tech Nation. So they are in charge of anything that's to do with tech. You apply under them, and then they'll endorse you. They'll give you that endorsement, or they will not give you the endorsement. And for the application, I needed references of people in the tech field as well to say, yes, this thing she's doing is actually tech related, and everything she does has to do with tech. So there came the struggle, and then they needed CEOs. So it wasn't just anybody who needed to write a letter, it was CEOs. And this is why I say I feel like sometimes it feels like the system is not favorable to international students, because let's be realistic. You're an international student that got into the UK, you spent less than a year, you want to apply for like the Global Talent Visa, and then they're telling you need a letter from a CEO. How likely are you to meet a CEO? How likely are you to be friends with a CEO? Do you get, like, what are the chances for international students? So I just feel like it's quite unfair. Anyway, as God will have it, I had contact with two CEOs actually that I met on LinkedIn. One of them is the CEO of Intern UK. Another one is the CEO of Xpeed Consulting. They were so kind to write me references, use their address, use their title, their portfolio. They had to send me copies of their CV. Like, it was a whole lot. They did that. And then I also needed a reference from someone in my university. Okay, so I now reached out to the senior global officer for my uni, and she also was so kind. She wrote me a very amazing reference letter. Submitted all of that, then I paid also about 500 and something pounds, which is non-refundable. So after all was said and done, I still got rejected. They said I did not meet the minimum criteria, and I was so pissed, because before I applied, I clearly went through the criteria to be sure I met the criteria, and I felt I did. They said I did not meet it. So that one, he passed. My money, waka, lost. All the reference letter that I struggled to get, it all left. Okay, so I wasn't endorsed. I did not get the Global Talent visa. That is number one. The second major rejection I got. So in the process of applying for jobs, some of my classmates knew also, as a home student, they knew I was looking for jobs. So there's this friend of mine on my course. She's like, hey, Chidera, there's this job I saw and they need me to recommend some people. Are you interested? It was with the British Petroleum. I was like, oh yeah, please send my CV. I forwarded my CV to her. I was so hopeful because this is like in-house recruitment. And if you've been applying for jobs, if you know how the recruitment world works, you know that you're more likely to get employed from an in-house recommendation than from just applying like on an application site. Okay, so I felt very hopeful with this. 1 week after sending everything, I did not hear anything from these people. Nobody contacted me, anything. I reached out to my friend. I'm like, yo, I've not heard from these people. What's happening? She's like, you know what? She now called the guy that was to receive my CV, and he's like, yeah, that right now it's like they are going to keep that for now, like they're not going to be recruiting for that role anymore. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, you have got to be kidding me. And so yeah, that was it. Fast forward, I got contacted like 2 weeks ago. So now that I'm already in Nigeria, that's when I'm getting the call. I got the message first telling me that, oh, am I still interested in the role? And I said yes. And then I started talking to them, only for me to realize it's a contract role for 8 months, and because it's a contract role for 8 months, they won't be sponsoring visa. So that means I can't take the job, because to work in the UK right now, I need a visa in it. So they're like, yeah, it's a contract role, we can't sponsor you. So yeah, that was how I missed out on that. Don't worry, it gets juicier. So the next rejection I received, the one that actually the one that actually hit me hard, was PhD. So before applying for that PhD opportunity, I was not keen about a PhD, because I'm always like, oh my god, it's 3 full years of my life, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do PhD, I don't know if I want to do PhD. I always like that. Like, I go on this PhD site, like findaphd.com, to look for PhD opportunities, just to see what it's like, and I'm always like, oh, I'm not so sure I want to do a PhD. And then, as God will have it, someone sent me a message on LinkedIn. She watches my YouTube channel. She's like, hey Chidera, there's this PhD opportunity I saw, and I feel like it's a great fit for you. She sent it to me, and I was like, wow, like I've never seen a PhD opportunity that fits me perfectly. Like, I was so excited. First of all, it was going to study farmer herdsmen crisis in Nigeria. If you've been conversant with things happening in Nigeria, you know there's a lot of herdsmen clashes. Okay, so we're going to study that and the impact on agriculture. So I was so interested. The second thing is the location of study is Kaduna State, which is where I was born, which is where I had lived all my life before going to the UK. So I was super excited. I was like, this is the perfect fit. They needed someone with a background in crisis management, disaster management. I had a master's with a distinction. I was like, oh my god, this is it, you guys, this is it. So I had to write a 2,000 word application. I did that, submitted it. I was super hopeful. I even tried to reach the professor. I was unable to contact them. And then later on, I got an email that, oh, my documents, they can't find it on the portal. I had to call them. I'm like, okay, I've uploaded them before, but I will do it again. I did that, called them, and they're like, you know what, it's fine. Everything is uploaded now, and we're reviewing your application. So I was super hopeful about this. And the university is Coventry University, okay? So I was super hopeful. And then it was literally the last straw. It was the last rejection I received before I told myself I'm done. And then I got a message. And then they told me that unfortunately, the government has pulled out the funding for this study. So it's not like I did not get in. It's not like I was rejected. It is a thing of the funding for the PhD was pulled out. So there's no funding. So I won't be giving monthly stipend. So they can't sponsor the study anymore. So literally, it's like I was standing and then a rug was pulled out from under me and I fell down flat. Okay? So that's how that went. I did not get the PhD opportunity. That one really pained me, like really, really hurt. Okay, moving on to the next rejection. Another rejection I received was with Accenture. If you know KPMG, Accenture is just like KPMG. They're one of the big consulting firms, especially in the UK and in Europe. So how did I get to know about Accenture? Someone again from this YouTube channel watching me, God bless her, I love her. She reached out to me and she's like, yo Chidera, I know you said you're tired of applying, but I feel like you should give this a shot. I feel like you have chances of getting this. I was like, I really don't have the energy. She called me, she asked me for my number, she motivated me. She's like, Chidera, try. I have a strong feeling, Chidera, you can do this. Like, she really motivated me, bless her heart. And I did. I applied for Accenture's consultant role, no, client delivery role. Okay, so I did that. The first stage, you would have to go through like 22 questions on their site, which is a lot. Oh my god. This lady that reached out to me literally coached me. She was like, this is how it works. You know, she just gave me best practices and all. I did that. I scaled through the first stage. I got a message like, congratulations, you've scaled through the first stage. We'll be inviting you for our interview. The interview takes 3 hours. So there's group, they'll pair me with someone. I'll do that with someone. There is a proposal I have to pitch, which I did. There was also abstract reasoning. There was like a whole lot. It was a 3 hour, 30 minutes assessment. Okay, after the first stage, I went to the second stage. I did everything to the best of my ability. I prepared so hard for this. And then, so after that stage, then you will now get a call for another one-on-one interview. So I was now waiting for the invite for the one-on-one interview. And I was super optimistic about this because for me to have scaled from the first stage to the second stage, like they received thousands of applications. I was like, oh my God, this might be the one that makes me stay back in the UK. And then when waiting for that call, I did not get it. I got a message instead telling me that they are sorry that at this point they have to drop me off. I was so broken. Like, I cried. Oh God, I cried. I was super broken because like literally everything I was hoping on, like especially the major ones, everything was just falling through, and it made me start feeling like, yeah, perhaps I'm not as great as I think, you know. So I had that. And I just told myself, I'm done. And I was like, I'm done with all applications. I'm not even putting in effort. So, but one thing that I did not tell even my boyfriend, and I did not tell this lady that actually sent me this job, I reapplied, okay? I wanted to prove a point. I was like, I'm going to get in. I reapplied, and then guess what? This time around, I did not even scale through the first stage. To tell you how bad it was. I did not scale through the first stage, and I took that L. Personally, I took it alone. I didn't share this with anybody. Like none of them knew that I reapplied. So another rejection that I received. Are you already tired? You can't be tired though. You know the rejections I received. Okay, another one I received is startup visa. Okay, startup visa. So startup visa means you have a business idea and you feel it is viable. You want to stay in the UK because you feel that business is connected to the UK. Once again, I use the CP community as my proposal. Like, yeah, this is the community I'm building. It has to do with studying in the UK. It's going to boost the economy. It's going to contribute to international education, yada, yada, yada. So for the startup visa, just like the global talent visa, you need to be endorsed. So a body needs to endorse you and say, yes, this idea is great. Home Office, give her visa. Okay, there are different endorsing bodies. My university, the University of Portsmouth, is one of the endorsing bodies. So I had to apply under them for them to endorse it. And then I called my uni. I'm like, yo, I want to apply for the startup visa. I want to apply for the endorsement. They said, that unfortunately application for 2020, this was in October, application for 2020 is closed. So they're not taking application for this year. So if I want to apply, it has to be for 2021. And I'm like, oh, that defeats the aim because my visa was to expire in January. And I was like, that means I have to go back to Nigeria. She's like, yes, I'll likely have to apply from outside the UK. I'm like, ooh, that doesn't quite sit right. That was not even the problem. She's like, I have to go through a 6 months program. So it's a 6 months program for them to now, before I get to the stage where they decide whether they endorse it or not, I have to be taking classes, attending pitches, a whole lot of things. And I'm like, ooh, I really don't know if I can commit to this. What even killed my vibe? I asked her, I said, what is the success rate? Like out of all the students that have applied for endorsement under them, what is the success rate? My people, the success rate was terrible. And that just demoralized me because it was really bad. And I'm like, woo, okay, so I commit to 6 months of this. And then at the end, people will now tell me, we're not endorsing you. Yay, I really could not afford to take another rejection. And then someone again from this YouTube channel, you guys, like, I'm actually blessed with an amazing set of people in this community. Thank you all so much. Another person from this YouTube channel reached out to me. She's like, oh, I watched your video and I feel like you can apply for the startup visa. I'm like, yeah, I already did that. I tried to apply from my uni and then they said this is the whole process. And the thing is, other endorsing bodies, I could have applied under them, but they all have their strict processes. Most universities will only endorse students from their university, okay? Then the other endorsing bodies that are not universities, they are like, oh, I have to go through the accelerator program. I have to apply for the program and then go through the program for like the same 6 months thereabout. And I'm like, oh my God, like, whew. And I do not, for some of them, I don't even know how to start the application. So she's like, yeah, I feel like you can apply. I'm like, I've tried, it's not working. She's like, there's this endorsing body that actually endorsed her own startup visa that should reach out to them. I was like, oh, that's awesome. She gave me their contact and then I spoke to them. And then that was where I found out that to apply for the startup visa under them, I have to pay £5,000. Now, after I paid the £5,000, I have to go through their accelerator program. But the thing is, theirs is not 6 months. I think theirs was for like 1 month, which is actually short and feasible. But I was like, what am I paying £5,000 for? And then they're like, it's for the whole process. I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, okay, if I pay £5,000, does it guarantee that I'm going to get this visa? Like, if I pay you people this money, will I get this visa or not? And then they are like, no, it doesn't guarantee that, but they can tell me that they have high success rates. I'm like, putting down £5,000 and not having a guarantee is a major risk on my part. And let me tell you, this is apart from, okay, if I actually get the visa, I will still have to pay immigration health surcharge, IHS fee. I will still have to pay the visa application fee on its own. So it's like going to be a lot of money. And then I was like, I'm not so sure I want to put £5,000 and get rejected, because I'll be broken, because literally that would be like my life savings in the UK that I'm putting there, and then I'll come back to Nigeria. Imagine I get rejected, then I come back to Nigeria, then I'm struggling, I'm broke. Either way, I've now lost. Like, I was like, no, I really cannot afford to put down 5,000 naira on something that is not 5,000 pounds. I say naira, 5,000 pounds on something that is not guaranteed. Okay, so that was how I did not apply for that. Okay, another rejection I received was with the British Red Cross. Like some of you know, I volunteered with the British Red Cross, so I have contacts there, like at least in my office. So there were a couple of jobs I applied for that I was so hopeful about. Also, British Red Cross gave me a big L. They're like, no. I said, no, we're not taking you. No. Okay, so there was this major one that I applied for that was quite related to my field of study, disaster management, and I had every other experience they needed. I ticked all the boxes, but still I got rejected. Now, why I'm focusing on the major rejections are because these are the ones that gave me major blows. All these things I think does not include the daily rejections I was receiving. On a daily, I was receiving rejections. To tell you how, like, I was so committed to applying, but when the rejections became so much, I had to stop, especially after the big rejections, like the PhD, the Accenture one, I was broken. But apart from that, I was receiving rejections on a daily. Like in DJ Khaled's voice, another one. Okay, it was steady. Even Jay, my boyfriend, even Jay, he was like, oh my God, I don't know how you're still able to be fine. He was legit worried about me that I'm going to break down, because every day another one. Once I received the rejection, I take a screenshot, then I send it to Jason. I'm like, yo, another one. You know. But yeah, it's rejections are not the easiest to deal with. Okay, they are not the easiest to deal with. So if you're going through rejections, if you've been receiving tons and tons of rejection, trust me, it will get better. And the annoying thing, which I know that I did not want to hear at that point, is people telling me, oh, you have to keep trying, oh, you have to keep applying. If you don't try, then how will you get it? Shut up. Because when you're going through rejections, trust me, the last thing you need is someone telling you to apply some more. Because you literally know you have to apply, but you don't want to be told at that time. So if you're going through rejections right now, trust me, I feel you. And if you want to not apply, don't apply. But I know eventually you will apply, because you know you still have to. You still have to do it. So yeah, take the time you need and then reapply when you have to. I don't know, I'm getting emotional. I want to cry. But yeah, it was a lot. Okay, so we have come to the end of this video. These are my major rejections. I keep sharing these things just so people know they are not alone, and just so you know that there are actually people it has worked for. So that lady, for example, that sent me the Accenture job, she got the job with Accenture. She's an international student, so I want you to know that it works. the person that sent me the startup visa thing, she got the startup visa. It works, okay? So the fact that it's not working for me does not mean, oh, the UK is not so favorable. It works for some people. My friend who I went to the UK with, he got a job in the UK. He's an international student. He's there right now, okay? So it works, okay? I'm just saying, for some people, it might not. For some, it does. But still, I want you to be optimistic about whatever applications you're doing in the UK. It can work and it will work, okay? All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time. Bye-bye.